Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Global Teleclass. And tonight, it's Dr. Irina with you from healthboss.org. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a Russian-American scientist and a holistic physician, and hence my accent. My area of expertise is high-tech energy healing devices, in a way Star Trek healing. I firmly believe such devices will soon replace a lot of what conventional medicine is doing right now. In fact, they are already replacing traditional medicine cabinets in the households of members of our community of home healers. In our community, we talk a lot about energy healing. That, in our view, is a primary form of healing. And tonight, we invite you to join us in the discussion of bioenergy. We will see what it is, why we need it, and how we can get more of it. I will recommend a few simple adjustments to your lifestyle that can substantially increase your energy level and tell you what else you can do to recharge your biological battery, so to speak. We also invite you to join our other discussions, webinars and live events, which you can do by becoming a member of our community. We call ourselves home healers. In our community, you can gain courage, knowledge, and tools to become a home healer and your own health boss. You can get all our community updates on our main website, which is www.healthboss.org, or on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/homehealertoday. You're also welcome to join our Facebook group, which is called Home Healers Place. Just put it in a search in Facebook and you will be right in our group, Home Healers Place. So now, let's get to the topic. So we are talking about bioenergy. So what is the bioenergy? Well, simply put, bioenergy is our life force. Children are so full of energy. It seems that they are like energizer bunnies. Sometimes it's even tiring to look at them. But as we grow older, we seem to have less and less of that energy. And finally, when we do not have energy anymore, we die. Like computers with dead batteries. Well, unfortunately, unlike the computers, we cannot recharge our biological battery if it is completely dead. Well, maybe in the future we will be able to, but right now, not yet. And just as computers need energy to run their programs properly, we need bioenergy to run all life processes in our bodies, and even our thought processes. If we do not have enough bioenergy, we do not run our programs efficiently. We do not adapt to our environment quick enough, and we develop what we call dis-ease. And if you look at this word, you will see that it's not easy. Dis-ease meaning not easy. In turn, healing, if we want to heal from a disease, it also requires a lot of energy. And if we do not have enough to begin with, we do not heal properly. That sets on a vicious cycle that brings along premature aging and chronic degenerative disorders and death way before our time. Well, you probably know that Bible records people living 300 years or longer and living healthy life, productive life. So which means that human being is capable of living a very long life. And for us, 100 years, it's kind of almost a miracle. So why is that? What is happening with us? Well, to sum up, the more bioenergy we have, the better off we are. This is quite obvious and falls into a category of a common knowledge or common sense. You may even think, why I'm wasting your time telling you these basic things? Only because it seems the Western Homo sapiens grows increasingly ignorant to the very thing that keeps him alive, to the bioenergy resources. We do not study bioenergy, we do not understand bioenergy, and we certainly do not know how to preserve and increase it. Well, let's just look at a few simple facts. Did you study bioenergy at school? Oh, of course not. I didn't. Did your doctor measure your bioenergy resource and educate you about it? And I would be very surprised if he or she did, since conventional medicine pretty much ignores bioenergy. Well, do you know where you get bioenergy from and how you lose it? I don't think so. Otherwise, you would probably never put your food in the microwave, cover yourself with a sunscreen just in case, or buy another wax-covered, perfectly-looking apple in the supermarket. In a way, we know less about the very essence of our life now in the 21st century than our ancestors knew thousands of years ago. All traditional medical systems, such as traditional Chinese medicine, Ayurveda, indigenous medicine, and other medical systems, with all their differences, have one thing in common. They all base their practices on studying and regulating bioenergy first and foremost. Everything else comes secondary. These traditional medical systems give bioenergy different names. Well, traditional Chinese medicine calls it qi or qi. Ayurveda calls it prana. They look at different aspects of its organization. Like in traditional Chinese medicine, you would talk about channels and meridians, and Ayurveda would talk about chakras. But it does not change the fact that they all regard bioenergy as the primary life force. Well, do you think they were all wrong? Like thousands of years of history and different continents and different cultures, all wrong? Do you really think living in blissful ignorance as we do in our contemporary Western culture is the way to go? Well, actually, it's a rhetorical question because Mother Nature already answered this question for us. Just look around. Virtually all of us these days are energy depleted. Many of us live in a state of low-grade depression that feels like constant doom and gloom. And the epidemics of chronic degenerative disorders is upon us and growing. Well, something is not quite right in our kingdom. Would you think so? My thought is that it is our ego that is taking over. Humankind is growing increasingly arrogant, and with that, the gap increases that we created between ourselves and Mother Nature. And we are paying the high price for our arrogance and ignorance. We as species, as life earthly beings, we are designed to live in constant energy exchange with our surrounding. We give energy out, and we receive life energy with live food and live water, bathing in the sun, swimming in the ocean and rivers, hugging trees, walking barefoot, connecting with our loved ones, animals or people alike. Well, I believe in the past, humans were much more in tune with the environment. In a way, much more in harmony with it. Like, for example, a farmer of 100 years ago served the land and animals on it, and in exchange, that land fed him and his family. That was an equal exchange with clearly specified roles, based on mutual respect, and deeply satisfying on both sides. Well, but now that our ego took over, and we think we are gods, and we think that we actually can control nature, we use and abuse the land, and we almost completely lost touch with nature in our urban jungles. Arrogance and separation. And as a result, we are afraid of our surrounding more than we enjoy it. Look at us covering our skin with sunscreen on the beach, or wiping surfaces in our houses with Lysol, or buying drinking water in a grocery store, or putting our pets on a leash. Unfortunately, by doing all that, we do not think or care much about our bioenergy resources, and think of the way how we get it. But it is the very essence of our existence. Well, we do not consciously try to preserve or supplement these resources, and we design the lifestyle for ourselves that actually creates chronic stress and sucks the life energy out of us without supplementing. Basically, I would say that our life force is being depleted. And even if we are not quite conscientious of it, we should feel it as being low on energy, as being weak and depressed. And we see the consequences of it in ourselves and in others. Well, but so what do we do about it? First thing to do is to understand what life energy or bioenergy is, or how we get it, and why we are losing more than we are getting. Actually, the nature of life energy is still a mystery, just as it was a mystery in traditional medical systems. Some scientists describe life energy or bioenergy as a flow of elementary negatively charged particles or electrons along the power lines, which are described in traditional Chinese medicine as channels and meridians. Well, some scientists focus more on photons of light going through our internal fiber optic. We all know that we are beings of light, right? But the fact remains that photons and electrons are actually closely connected. The photons of light, or photons, are actually known as elementary particles that do not have any mass or do not carry any charge. They're carried by light. So photons of light being absorbed by the body help our body produce its own internal bioenergy in the little power plants that every cell in our body carries, and which is called mitochondria. Mitochondria is even, in some studies, explained as an organism that lives in symbiotic relationship with us, but is actually not of human origin. Well, I don't know about that, but the fact remains that these little power plants, mitochondria, that every cell in our body has, produce that bioenergy that is used in all life processes in our body, all chemical processes and thought processes. The bioenergy that mitochondria produce come up as ATP molecules. ATP stands for adenosine triphosphate. Without going in a long biochemical lesson, let's just remember these three simple facts. First of all, that our bodies produce energy internally, inside the cells, and in a form of ATP molecules that mitochondria create. Second, that photons of light, especially coherent light, help the body produce more bioenergy. The more we are exposed to the light, the more energy we get. We instinctively know it, but when you look at the biochemistry, you will see that it's actually true. And the third, our bodies also receive bioenergy from the various electron donors from the outside. And that energy also contributes to recharging our biological battery. So we produce energy internally, and we get bioenergy from the outside, from various electron donors and from photons of light. Well, logical would be to conclude that if we receive and produce bioenergy, we should be giving it out to keep the balance in the world. Well, we receive energy, we need to give something back. And we sure do. We just don't see it. But there are ways of seeing the bioenergy that human body produces. We probably all know about Kirlian photography that confirms that every alive being, and the human being included, has what we call aura, or bioenergetic field that surrounds our physical bodies and extends beyond our physical bodies. The condition of our aura directly reflects not only the quantity, but also the quality of bioenergy we have. And it will show our diseases before any physical symptoms will be manifested. Because everything that happens in our body happens first on energetic level. And only if it's not corrected, sooner or later it will show up in the physical body. Because energy comes first. We usually feel good in the presence of people with a strong, harmonious aura. And we are instinctively drawn to them, even though we cannot see their strong energy field with our naked eye, but we still can feel it, and we instinctively know. So we want to be around them, and in their presence we feel good, because they feed us with bioenergy that we so desperately need, and because they harmonize our own chaotic energy. People describe, for example, feeling amazingly good in the presence of Dalai Lama or in the presence of very spiritual people. So that's not for nothing. It's their strong bioenergy field manifests itself that way. And if you, for example, would look at the pictures of Buddha, pictures of Buddha are always with a radiant field of light or sea of light around him. I guess that's also a very strong aura, shows up that way. So this is how we get bioenergy. So we produce it, and we also receive it from the outside, from the different sources, with the light or with electron donors. So one of the reasons that our biological battery is being low is that we lack bioenergy. We do not produce enough of it, or we don't get enough of it from the outside. So the lack of bioenergy would be one of the reasons why we are low. But there is another reason for it. And another reason would be various energy blockages in our body. Well, how do we get those? Energy blockages in our body, or places where energy does not flow freely, are created following certain diseases or disorders that we have in our body, and especially chronic disorders that form what we call energy cysts. They are like dams in a river. They would not allow energy to flow through, so energy has to go around. Scars in our body, and I mean physical scars as well as in emotional or mental scars, they contribute to that too. They would not allow energy to flow freely through them. Parasites or internal alien life forms, which are not us, they create energy disruptions and energy blockages. One of the probably most common ways or reasons for energy blockages would be genetically modified organisms, or GMOs, that we get with food or water. And we don't even know that we get them, but they are the most disruptive. And then there are also disruptive thoughts and emotions, which we do not always think that can actually interrupt our energy flow, but they can. They absolutely can block the flow of energy in our body. And especially such strong emotion like fear. That's probably one of the strongest energy blockages in our body. So all this life phenomena, they create the conditions in the body where energy cannot flow. And if it cannot flow, it stagnates, and we lose it. So that would be another reason for our body to be low on bioenergy. So the first is lack of bioenergy, and now is a block of bioenergy. But don't forget there is also a third reason, and that's we are actually leaking bioenergy more than we should. Well, we naturally radiate energy, of course, but sometimes we can also leak it. And the bioenergy leakage is produced by damage done to our bioenergy field by strong disruptive influences from the outside, like, for example, electromagnetic pollution, or heavy metal toxicity, or chemicals, or food, or in food, water, or in the air. There are various ways, and there are many of them, that create actually literally holes in our aura, and you can even see it on the Kirlian photography. If you take a picture, and you will see those places where there are literally holes in your aura, and you're leaking bioenergy through it. So combine these three reasons, lack, leak, or block of bioenergy, and almost all of us have all three in one or another degree. And you can now see why our energy balance is usually negative to one or another degree. Well, of course, since life energy comes to us and flows through us in so many different ways, there is no universal formula on recharging your biological battery, so to speak. You just need, I guess, to look at every aspect of your life from the energy perspective and see why and where you may be lacking, leaking, or blocking your bioenergy. Just assess your everyday life from that perspective, and you will see. I, however, can give you some recommendations on how to increase your bioenergy resources that would work for almost all of us. They're pretty universal. And these are what I call low-tech solutions. And I know I told that I will give you 7 ways, but it probably will be more than 7. Well, let's see. Well, the first recommendations, what I would suggest you do, and it's foremost, we are what we eat. So switch to organic food. Well, non-organic food not only has minimal or no nutritional value, that would be the less of all evils, but it is full of ingredients that are plain harmful to your body and that will create leakages or blockages of bioenergy. We actually tested apples. There is a Russian technology called Active Vision that can visualize in real time the energy field and can show you the condition, or can show you acupuncture points. They lit up in darkness like a stars in the sky. And you can pretty much see where the acupoints are and how many of them and how bright they are. So you can see that way the energy field. And not only human energy field, but you can see the energy field of every living thing. And plants are living things. So you can see, in a way, acupuncture points on plants. So we looked at the apples and bananas and tomatoes that we got from a supermarket. And the apples and tomatoes that we got from the vine in the garden. And let me tell you, what you're getting in the supermarket are dead fruits. I don't know how they preserve them, but those perfect apples in the supermarket are not just dead. They're also full of GMOs and probably chemicals. So my suggestion would be, yes, of course, organic food is more expensive, but you will pay more later on medical bills. It's just not worth it. Just do yourself a favor and switch to organic food. And by the way, do you realize that, for example, ice cream that you would buy in a supermarket or at the gas station, it does not have any milk in it for a long time. It's just pure combination of chemicals that would excite your taste buds in certain places, but it has no nutritional value and it has lots of ingredients that are plain harmful. So just when you put some food in your body and you decide on what to choose, assess it from bioenergy perspective. And yes, the tomatoes from the garden may not have that perfect shape, but believe me, they will be live food. You are designed to eat that live food. So that would be the first recommendation. I mean, that's kind of obvious, but we just don't think about it because getting tomatoes in the supermarket is easier. Well, the next one would be water. With water, it's more difficult because we don't really have live water around us. And you realize, of course, that bottled water may be sterile, but it's not live. Yes, it does not have any harmful microorganisms, but it also doesn't have any bioenergy in it. And I'm not even talking about the tap water. The water that we have around us, unfortunately, is also full of chemicals, pollutants, and God forbid fluoride, which is pure poison to your body. But see, also, it's very difficult to eliminate those toxic agents from water. They say that they found traces of pharmaceutical drugs in Antarctic ice. So it's really difficult to actually completely get rid of everything that is in your drinking water. But at least what you can do is to put a lot of filters and try to find the water with no fluoride in it, and do the reverse osmosis. But the best thing is actually to find the spring water, the natural spring somewhere near you. And lots of places have natural springs. We just don't know about it. But there is a website. It's called www.findaspring.com. www.findaspring.com. Find the spring is one word, of course. So you can go there, and this site lists, not just lists the natural springs in North America, but people contribute to it by giving information on the natural springs that they discovered in their area, and it gives the content of that water also, like a chemical content of every spring, so you can see if there is a spring in your area, somewhere near you. And if you find one, just go there and get the bottles and just start using that at least for your food. So that would be the second recommendation. Switch to spring water, which is a live water. Now the next thing is sunlight. And I know it's a little controversial point. We need sunlight. We designed, see, the people before, they didn't use sunscreen and they never got sunburn. With that, actually, we have me as being an ophthalmologist, I can tell you that wearing sunglasses all the time, even when you don't quite need it, can actually trick your body into being sunburned. And the reason being is our body naturally assesses the amount of light that is coming on us. So when we have a very bright sunlight and it comes through our eyes, to our retina, our body decides, oh yeah, okay, there is too much of sunlight, I better produce the natural defense. And it does produce it. When you wear sunglasses, the body is tricked because it doesn't know that it's exposed to excessive ultraviolet radiation, and it doesn't produce any protection. So you're lacking natural protection. Of course you were going to get burned. Don't get me wrong. I'm not, of course, telling you to go and burn yourself. It will be situations when you go in the Caribbean at noon and you go there for 2-3 hours. Of course, don't do that. But don't put sunscreen on yourself if it's not absolutely necessary. Like at 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock in the morning, you don't need that, or at 5 p.m., you don't need that. And also it's good if you are in a situation when you are about to sunbathe. Keep your eyes closed. Don't look at the sun, but keep your eyes closed and with your face to the sun without the sunglasses. That will help your body to realize that you are in the condition of you're in the danger of being sunburned, and it will create natural protection. But you need the sunlight. Your body vitally needed to produce a vitamin D. And you know that the vitamin D is one of the most vital vitamins in your body. That you of course can swallow a pill and you think you will be supplementing your vitamin D resources, but that's not true because vitamin D is oil soluble. And when you swallow oil-soluble ingredients, only about 10% of that will be absorbed in your intestines. The rest will go just right through you. So even though you are taking vitamin D, it doesn't mean you are actually absorbing vitamin D. So it actually can be a little misleading. So be careful with that. But you absolutely need sunlight to produce the natural vitamin D. So get the sun as much as you can, and then every opportunity you have. You know how when you get older, you naturally are drawn to sunlight, and that's not for nothing. It's because we are lacking BioEnergy naturally with age, so we want to supplement it. So we kind of, like sunflowers, we turn towards light. So that was third. Now, number 4. Number 4 recommendation, our low-tech solutions to our BioEnergy crisis, ground yourself. Connect to Mother Earth. Mother Earth is a huge bioenergy body, and we are born to it to draw energy from it. It's ready, willing, and able to give us bioenergy. We just need to connect to it. And yes, the best way to do that would be walking bare feet. Of course, be careful not to, step on something sharp, or not to walk in the situations when some parasites can get to you through the dirt. But if you are you're on the grass, you are on the sand on the beach, just walk bare feet. Your feet will absorb the bioenergy and electrons from the ground. And about 5-10 minutes, better 15 minutes a day. If you give yourself those 15 minutes to walk bare feet, you will feel so much better. Connecting to Mother Earth also is important from the point of view of releasing the static electricity that we accumulate even with our clothes, which has synthetics in it. So you will be getting static electricity, which is very disruptive to your energetic field. So grounding yourself is very important. Try to ground yourself again every chance you have. And some people actually sleep on certain mats that has the grounding in it. And consider getting one for yourself that at least during the nighttime you will be grounded, you will be releasing your static electricity, and your energy field will be much safer. So that's recommendation number 4. Number 5, protect yourself from EMFs, from outside EMFs, well, electromagnetic frequencies and radiation. Very disruptive, very dangerous, and probably the largest source of disruptive EMFs are our cell phones. As you know, probably their radiation, electromagnetic radiation, is very strong, and there is a large body of studies growing that using cell phones for a prolonged period of time contribute to brain tumors. You probably heard about that. So, suggestion, cut down on the cell phone time, especially if you are using the cell phones basically glued to your ear. Don't do that. Even Bluetooth, even though I'm not in favor of Bluetooth, but even Bluetooth is a little better than the actual cell phone that doesn't get hot near your ear. Wear protective devices. If you go and search for EMF protection, probably a lot of suggestions will come up on Google search. I cannot give you the best because I just tried different forms of it, and I don't know which one is better. But those little things that you wear around your neck or sometimes on your wrists, there's EMF protection. There are no not actually devices, but certain forms of EMF protection. So please wear them, especially when you're flying. If you are in the air and if you're above clouds, there is lots of EMF there. And so when you're flying, please try to wear some sort of EMF protection devices. And of course, consider if you live somewhere near the power lines, you know that actually to be more or less safe, you should be like 2 miles away from any power line. That's very strong energetic influence on your body. So that was number 5. Protect yourself from EMFs. The easy way to actually get BioEnergy, get more of BioEnergy, is to surround yourself with plants. Because plants are like live bodies, and they're living beings, not as we are, but they're life forms, and they produce a lot of wonderful, coherent BioEnergy. So put couple plants in your bedroom and put couple plants in your house, and the more of them you have, the better. Sometimes it's a good idea to go into the forest and just, hug a tree and just be amongst those wonderful life forms. They are living beings, living things. And they're very, very coherent and very good for you. Put a couple plants on, even small ones, on your desk at work. They will not only give you BioEnergy, but they also will be aesthetically pleasant, and they will be like your little friend. You will look at it and you will think that, and you will have more creative ideas. So that was number 6. Well, number 7. Number 7 is, again, a low-tech solution to your BioEnergy crisis. Do some sort of practice like a Tai Chi or yoga or meditation. There are many practices that designed to increase your BioEnergy and regulate your BioEnergy. I personally like Tai Chi a lot, and even by the name of it is Tai Chi. It's from regulating the energy. You don't have to be really, really physically fit in order to practice these practices. They are not actually specifically for only fit people, or you don't have a lot of muscle strength in order to do it. Even yoga, there are different forms of Tai Chi or yoga. They are all designed to regulate and increase your energy. They are very good for you. And meditation will put, of course, yourself in a state when you can receive energy, and you will get rid of negative and disruptive thoughts and emotions, which is also one of the primary forms of us receiving more BioEnergy. And of course, exercise is always a good idea, because exercise increases the production of ATP and activity of mitochondria in your system, so you will produce more BioEnergy. So exercise is always a good idea too. Number 8, do a good cleanse. And there are different forms of cleanses. It can be a parasite cleanse, it can be a heavy metal cleanse, or other cleanses that will clean your digestive system and will help your digestive system to start absorbing more nutrients and more BioEnergy, and will also getting rid of parasites and getting rid of heavy metals will decrease your energy blockages in your system. So good cleanse in any form, and of course you can choose a cleanse that is good for you. So that would be one of the very, very important things for you to do. Number 9, surround yourself with positive people and things that make you feel good. Basically, the less negative thoughts you have and less fears you have, the more BioEnergy you will have, because fear and negative thoughts are major energy suckers. So try to stay positive. I mean, I know, of course, it's easier said than done, but still try to stay positive. And one of the ways to stay positive is to surround yourself with positive influences, like positive music and positive, I hope you are not watching a lot of TV, but if you do, at least choose the programs that that create positive emotions and thoughts in you, and not the other way around. And of course, laugh a lot. Like laughing increases your bioenergy immensely. So laugh from your heart, laugh till you cry. It's always a good idea. Number 10, give and receive love in all forms. And not just receive love, but also give. And not just give, but also receive. Unfortunately, lots of us are good in one, but not good in another. And when I say love, I don't mean just romantic love. It's love in all forms. It's love to your children, love to your parents, your pets, your friends, and just connect with with other people more. They will give you energy. However, there are situations which you may want to avoid, well, I will probably share something with you that some of you may not agree with, but there is a phenomenon that I believe actually exists, and it's called an energy vampires. Energy vampires are not bad people. Most of them don't even know that they're energy vampires. They're just low on bioenergy, and because they need it, they actually try to get it from their surrounding and from other people in their surrounding. They behave in a way that they can get it. So one of the ways to identify an energy vampire is people who talk a lot. And sometimes you just get those people who constantly talk and talk and talk and talk, and you don't have a choice but listen to them. And after you're done, you feel totally drained. And that can be in physical presence of these people, or sometimes when you are on the phone with them, or on Skype, and you still feel drained. So that is a phenomenon of energy vampires. So try to, well, of course I understand that you cannot really avoid those situations, and sometimes your close friends and your loved ones will be in a situation, then they just need to talk, and you need to listen. It's normal, because in other situations you will be the one who will be talking and they will be listening. It's balanced. It should be balanced. But there are also some people who are never listeners. They're always talkers. You probably met quite a few of them, and just look at them from that position. They may be in a desperate need of bioenergy, and that's the way they're getting it. So I cannot suggest you not to communicate with them, but just be aware of it. So if someone in your presence talks, really talks a lot, just try to be aware of that situation. Okay, so these were all, I mentioned, I think 10. These are low-tech solutions. And of course, in our 21st century, we have high-tech solution to bioenergy crises, and I'm the first one who can tell you firsthand that my beloved energy healing devices they are designed to give you, some of them are designed to give you bioenergy and to regulate bioenergy. So one of the probably simplest high-tech solutions to the low bioenergy is the energy healing blanket, or we call the Solaris blanket. This is the energy accumulator. You surround yourself, you wrap yourself in that blanket. It's just a blanket. It doesn't have any power source. And it will protect your energy field, and it will accumulate your bioenergy, reflect it back to you. You will be like in an energy cocoon. So 40 minutes in that blanket, and you will feel re-energized and rejuvenated. That's one. It's probably the simplest out of the energy accumulators I can suggest for you. You can, of course, there are other mechanisms or other aspects, the mechanisms of action of the Solaris blanket, and you can read more of it at healthboss.org. If you go to the site, healthboss.org, you will have the icon on the right on the sidebar that will show you Solaris blanket. You can read more of it, about history of it, and the mechanism of action. It's one of our favorites. We really like the blankets. It's good for everyone because it just preserves your energy resources. It increases them, and it balances your energy very gently. Now, another probably more drastic way of increasing your energy resource, if you need it fast, that would be a soft laser or low-level laser. We really like Q lasers because they are resonating lasers. They're very, 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 very low power, but they are profound in their effects on the body, and they produce coherent light of multiple wavelengths that can give your body just what you need fast. So that would be another way, and that is our favorite way of increasing our bioenergy resources. Not to say that we don't use other ways, but if you need bioenergy fast, that's the way to go. You also can read about Q lasers at healthboss.org, or there is a separate site for it, and it's called softlaser.net. It's not .com, it's softlaser.net. It will tell you all about the low-level lasers and their effects on the body. So you have options. Just doing one thing from this extensive and far from being complete list, I just gave you the basics. That would increase your energy resources and contribute to ending doom and gloom. And the older you are, the more you need to work on preserving your precious life energy. I guess what I'm advocating is that you rethink your lifestyle from a life energy point of view. And every time you're exposing yourself to something or about to take something or let something into your body, think, will it give me energy or it will take energy away? And act accordingly. It should come naturally to you as soon as you understand the concept. This is not something you need to learn as a skill. You just need to remember. See, we are designed to do these things. We just forgot how to do it because we are separated from nature. We forgot our natural instincts. And it's time to remember. Because you are a home healer, and that's what home healers do. Well, I guess that's it. I want to thank you for your attention and wish you to be radiant in everything you do, generously sharing with the world life energy just because you now have enough to share. That was Dr. Irina, and I will be happy to connect with you on Facebook. You can find me on facebook.com/DocIrina, DocIrina, or join our Home Healers community at healthboss.org. We also have a Facebook page, as I already mentioned, facebook.com/HomeHealerToday. And now we just formed our Facebook group. We will be happy to see you there. It's Home Healers Place. Find us there. Thank you for your attention, and I will now open the lines if you guys have any questions.